Like, there's like, you just kind of know. And if you're in that moment, she looks great, and you pan all the way down, and it's like a pair of like Reebok Shaq high tops. She's got to be like, all right, and ruined, right? Like it would, like it just wouldn't be very good. So shoes are important. Accessories, I am a fan of. Carry a nice bag, a nice set of earrings. I do like accessory. I do like that. I'm into that, right? But like the smell of feet doesn't necessarily do much to me. I remember having to tell a very beautiful woman one night on my couch, what is that? Your stinking ass dogs is what that is. You didn't notice we were able to start picking up the scent of that when you took your shoes off? That was unfortunate. She ended up washing her feet that night. It ended up being one of those things, and she got so embarrassed by it and didn't like the fact that I told you guys the story. It was like, oh my God, it's your feet smelling. It literally happens to everybody, right? It can happen to everybody. You know, I said, I don't understand. I'm not really big into licking toes or sucking toes, so the feet fetish isn't really going to be my thing. I have done it, you know. That's the thing about sex, right? Is while you're in the moment, while you're doing it, you almost will do things that it's like, I can't believe I just did that right there, right? Like while having an ankle and a hand or two, have I leaned over during a sex act and like put a toe in a mouth or, you know, licked a portion of a toe while, you know, that? Yes. And that is a thing I like. That is a moment, if you will, position. If we must make it as filthy as possible, that I do find fun and entertaining, right? So like I found myself doing. So what I'm saying is, if you asked me, bar Friday night, man, hey man, you want to be sucking on toes during sex? I'd be like, I don't really be doing that. It's not really I don't really have a desire, because I don't have a desire right here to be like, man, next time I have sex, I gotta lick some toes, man. I gotta get to the toe jam. No. But in the heat of the moment, we're hot, it's them moving around. I can't believe it. I cannot believe I tricked her into this, dude, right? Like, in some of that, like, and yeah, absolutely. I will, you know, you will do things that maybe you wouldn't when asked. So I can understand that. When asked what you wish were true about a foot fetish that isn't, you know what this person said here? I wish it wasn't as villainized as it is. Is that how you? I don't feel like it's villainized. I just wish it wasn't so villainized, quote. Most people have never explored a world of sensation, intimacy, and excitement because they think it's weird or funny. Well, I do think it's weird or funny. But plenty of sex is... See, we've done this to language. Because I think something is weird, that doesn't necessarily mean bad. Can, sometimes, right? But weird doesn't necessarily have to mean bad. I mean, it just can mean weird, right? Now, the danger with that in sex is this. At least this is what I have encountered out there, you know, is, all right, that's weird. But all right, let's try it. There is no regret. Very few regrets in life ring as hard as sexual regret, right? Like when you just went 2 steps over the line, right? Like that old song, one toke, man, one toke over the line. When you just get that one toke over that line, you're like, you know what? That was a little too far right there. You know, I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know why that happened. The sexual regret that can happen like that is strange. I'm not sure a toe in a mouth is gonna. Although Janet says that's a deal breaker for her. A foot fetish would be a deal breaker for her. It does kind of have, all right, it does, I don't know if villainized is enough or if that word's warranted. It does, like anything else, it can be sold as that dude's in the feet. It's weird, right? Like, there's a way to sell it like that. And I don't think it has to be that. It can be, I don't know, it can be pretty normal. It's not one of the more strange things I've heard or seen inside of sex or requests or asks or, okay, I am going to have an easier time. All right, this might be the faster way to say this. Do you have any idea how beautiful a woman has to be to get me into the furry lifestyle? Like I'm telling you right now, bro, that chick is gonna have to be crazy hot. Like crazy hot to get me into furries. Like a 7 could get me to lick her feet.
The Stansberry Show.
Well, I'm not very good, but I play loud.
On Rock 106.9.
How's it going?
School also in the laboratory here in a moment.
Suck driving around.
Also after 9 o'clock, talk to Sam Berkman, presented by Benders and Massel. Looking forward to that.
Rare day off.
All right, we have been talking a little foot fetish on the show. That came up. And I don't think it's all that weird. I mean, I find plenty of things about a woman or, a sexual partner, if you will, attractive that other people think is weird. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah. By the way, thinking things are weird doesn't necessarily mean you think they're evil either. It's just like, yeah, that's strange to me. It doesn't necessarily mean it's bad or you shouldn't do it or awful. It's just different, right? We've conflated some definitions of words over the time. And I feel like sometimes people feel more victimized because of what your version of the word weird means. It's like, well, no, I'm not attacking you. I do think it's weird, and I'm allowed to think it's weird. Doesn't mean I don't think you should be allowed to do it, or awful, or kick you off the planet, or whatever. This came in off the text line. 330-450-7625. And this text says, wait, hold on a second. You will not toss a woman's salad, but you'll lick or suck her toes? Okay, so I don't remember saying I would not toss a salad as a person who has done it. Now, I remember saying this, now I've probably had this conversation more than one time on the air, that fresh out of the shower, and I gotta be in love, and we were in probably a lot of lust in that moment, and there may have been a drug or two in that thing. That's not necessarily a region for me. I will make concessions, fill requests, if you will, on said region with sexual activity in a partner. It's not necessarily a place, like a lot of men are dying to go. I'm not even looking to buy a ticket. All right, hey, I want a vacation here. Okay, here we go. I'll go to make you happy. I'm not looking to pack my bags for a town, if you will. Like, that's not necessarily my thing. Also, I don't get the question, the query here. You'll have to help me. Is your suggestion that toes would be filthier on some way, some level, than that region? I don't know if I buy it. Give you a couple of reasons why. Women expose their toes more than men and their feet. Now, you could sell the argument, well, yeah, exactly. They're out there, hanging out there all day. Good. Fair. You may win that one. I feel like I win the overall war by saying, I kind of know how human beings deal with the body parts nobody sees, though. Right? Like, how many people don't even wash their feet in the shower? They just kind of let that go down there. So, like, I guess you could sell it that way, too. I think the dirtier place, the only thing that comes out of your feet is sweat. Right? So, like, I win. I think, so selling me on the feet being the dirtier place is nuts. Different to me. And much like a foot in mouth, I would prefer we had been washed recently. And if I even got to see it happen, maybe I was the one who had done it. That would be an easier thing for me. I was just saying that, yes, while in the heat of sex, caught up in the moment, oh my God, this is hot. I can't believe she let me talk her into this, right? While an ankle being in a hand, reaching, leaning over, kind of sucking on a toe, it's happened. It's happened. Not necessarily one of my favorite things. I don't get that's a weirder place to put your tongue than, again, renaming Atlanta. If you will. You know what? That's the new term on the Stansberry Show for anal. Atlanta. Right? Because I got to be honest with you, that's exactly how I feel about that city. Having interviewed for a job there, that is how I feel about that one. Nikki says, she's that's an exit only situation. there. Yeah, it all depends on what your limits are. You know? It's all who you are as a person, what you enjoy, what you don't enjoy. And when you're mixing, your life with somebody else, you're going to have to, at some point, I would imagine, do something sexually that you're not necessarily all the way about, but not necessarily. That's the line, right? This isn't really for me, but I don't feel like I'm giving up my moral center to do this for you. Somewhere in between those two things, if that's, then you're probably all right. If somebody's asking you to do this thing and it's like, geez, I don't know. Like, I just don't know if that's who I am as a person, that's a different thing. But as long as you're like, all right, it's strange, but let me see if you're into this. Because, I mean, how many times have you and I had that conversation in here? With people's resistance to be honest and open about the sex they desire with their partner, leading to breakups and leading to that. I mean, okay, that's a great way to sell it right there, right? You're toe licking away from not getting divorced. Would you want to know that? Of course, right? Like, dude, we're a big toe in my mouth from me being able to keep all of my money. Yeah, absolutely. Get your digits in here. Let's handle it, right? For sure. So I like people being communicative. And I think that's the line. Is being asked to do something that you're a little like, oh, I didn't think that was going to be part of my life. It's a little strange. Okay, I'll try it. Against my moral code, that's too far. On a Schoolhouse and Laboratory tickets, I've been passing them out all week. I'll get caller 15 in right now. That at 330-450-7625. Toll-free version of that is 800-243-7625. And we will start the final hour of the program with Sam Berkwin, presented by Benders and Maslin. Next, here on Rock 106.9.
He's a man of many talents, but he doesn't have the talent for keeping quiet.
The Stansberry Show on Rock 106.9.
Welcome back to the Stansberry Show. We'll congratulate Nate Mike Q on his way into the haunted Schoolhouse and Laboratory. We've been passing those tickets out all this week, and looking ahead at next week, Thursday, Sonic Temple Thursdays, another shot at those Metallica tickets. Thursday on the program, every Friday at 9, we talk to my buddy Sam Berkwin, the voice of high school football here in Stark County. Sam is presented by the Benders and Maslin, whether it's pregame, lunch, late night, whatever you're looking for, Benders and Maslin's got you guys covered there. There's also the Benders West End Tavern, Benders Food and Spirits and Pizzeria. They're open 7 days a week, too. Now, the West End, Sam, is where we got our food from this morning. Dusty was nice enough to bring us the ribs today. So here's what they got. They got some ribs, mac and cheese, and that brisket chili was delicious. Now, I ate my ribs already. Gone. Done. See ya. That took about, 4 bites. So the West End Tavern apparently does ribs on Saturdays is when you can go there and get those. But he was nice enough to get up early, make us some, bring them in. They're delicious. Really, really good. I can't wait. So check out the West End Tavern tomorrow night on those ribs. By the way, keep Benders and Maslin in mind. 26 opening up early, 7 a.m. there. Right. That for the big end, the game there. They'll be open for breakfast. And you can find them there on the 26th, opening at 7 a.m. All right, my man. So we know you're the voice of high school football. And I got Browns questions. Mm-hmm. We got to actually get outside of the normal elements here. I want to go back a couple of days, and I want to go to baseball.
Okay.
So the Guards had a perfect game get broken up on them by a guy laying a bunt down. And I'm curious here because to me, a perfect game matters more. And this is maybe why my opinion doesn't matter in these things. But to me, a perfect game matters more, starting pitcher going the distance, than 4 pitchers throughout the game. And where do you come down on this? You don't bunt to break up a perfect game. You don't do that in sports. Because to me, it feels like you don't run up the score argument, and normally people will push back and be like, no, this is professional sports here. So where do you come down on the you don't bunt to break up a perfect game, Sam?
I'm so glad you brought this up, because
yeah, I've been waiting to ask you.
I was listening to the game, couldn't watch it, but I was listening to it. And as a former pitcher,
probably better, he was the best.
Yes. As a former pitcher, and it would have been me, and this is different now. If I would have started the game, it wasn't a bullpen game, it was me on the mound. I'm going inning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If that would have been me, and I think it was the 7th inning,
I believe so,
and I had a perfect game, and somebody dropped the bunt down, I'd have beat his ass.
Really?
Yes.
It's that egregious?
Yes. Now, in this situation, it's a bullpen game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Not as egregious, and it's just such a different set of circumstances that yeah, that might be a little bush league, a little tacky.
Unwritten rule, they call it.
But okay, it was a staff perfect game as opposed to an individual, so I wouldn't be as upset about it.
To me, it feels like something you can do it to a team, you can't do it to the man. If you got a starting pitcher going that deep, it's like, dude, don't take that away from that guy.
Yes.
Right? Like, because I feel like if you pitch a perfect game solo, you're cemented forever.
Oh, it's hard to do. There's not that many.
Forever. Under 30 of them, I believe.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, it's one of those things. You're cemented forever. I don't think that's what's going to happen to the entire rotation if used to achieve this, right?
No.
And so I kind of feel like, you can do it against the team, can't do it against the man.
That's perfectly put.
Hey, look at that.
That's exactly how I felt. Plus, if you want to dig a little bit deeper, it was only a 2-run game.
Yeah, a lot of people bring this up.
And look what happened.
Yeah.
They got a guy on. There was a throwing error. And pretty soon the game was tied. So, yeah.
This question was asked of me, staying with the Guardians here. This question was asked of me. What do you think is harder, though? Do you think it's harder for the starting pitcher to go the distance, pitch a perfect game, or no, man, you're making rotation changes here. We need multiple guys to be great in this moment. Somebody here in the hallway asked me that. To me, it's the starting pitcher's harder. Because I don't think arms get stronger as the game goes on. And I think the anxiety of it is actually going to get worse for a guy knowing this is on my shoulders here. Like, I need to make sure I keep delivering here. Or do you think it's actually harder? No, because you need more people to be perfect all at the same time.
I think it's harder for just the one guy to throw the no-hitter or the perfect game, excuse me. Because there are instances, and I can say when I pitched was college as far as I went. But there were days when it got to the 6th and 7th, I got stronger.
Some pitchers do.
Because sometimes it took me, like,
if
you didn't get me in the first 2 innings, you weren't hitting me.
Okay.
I got stronger as the game went along.
All right,
now,
that's a fair point.
And then to ask only a guy, hey, look, I just need 3 out of you. I need 3 outs out of you. I'm not saying it's cake,
but easier.
But it's easier because if you're going to throw a perfect game and you're going to pitch 9 innings in the major leagues, you're probably going, you're probably going at least 100 plus pitches a game.
You would
Unless
think.
you're really dazzling, you're throwing about 80, 85 because they just can't hit you at all. But, yeah, I think it's harder for just one individual to throw a perfect 9-inning game.
That's what I would think, too. Sam Berkwin, also the voice of high school football here in Stark County, presented by the Benders of Massillon. And also the Benders West End Tavern, nice enough to bring us their ribs. You can get those there on Saturdays at the West End Tavern. Smoked brisket chili was pretty good, and I'm a mac and cheese fan. Everybody knows that. I like that a lot myself as well. All right, Sammy, now you do got McKinley at Green tonight. Now, I was confused. I thought we already had this game. That's why you can get a little perfume drunk in the middle of this season here. What am I in for tonight?
We are in for a game where this will be our 3rd look at McKinley, and this will be our 2nd look at Green. So nice that you got enough background.
Oh, a little familiar.
When you see a guy, boom, you know who he is right away, even if he's coming off the bench. Boom, I remember that guy. He subbed in this, that, and the other. McKinley on paper is probably, well, I know they are the favorite tonight. And Green has just found a way to win games. They won a game last week. Remember that there was a triple doink field goal in a college football game once where the team won it. The kicker kicked the ball, hit the crossbar, hit the left upright, hit the right upright,
I do remember
over.
this, yeah.
Green had a touchdown pass like that
Really?
in the final second where it hit off one guy, another guy's shoulder pads, and a Green guy happened to be there in the back of the end zone, caught it, and they won the game.
Some theatrics.
So they've been riding some, I want to say luck, but a little bit of good fortune. But they've been making their own good fortune. And I think that Mark Geis is one of the most underrated high school football coaches in our area. He's been at Green now for several years.
That's a nice endorsement.
So people might say, Green, McKinley. But you go back in this series now. When the game's been it's been weird. When the game's been in Canton, the games have been closer.
Really?
When they've been up in Green, McKinley's kind of had the upper hand. Weird.
That's odd.
So we'll see. Again, rain maybe tonight. That might mess some things up a little bit. McKinley's got the team speed advantage. So on the artificial turf there, the field turf, they would probably.
So that's their identity. Like if I asked you to sum up McKinley football this year, is that their identity? Speed, fast, quickness.
Speed, fast, quick, and if you get in the open, you're not catching them. You're not going to catch any of those wide receivers or running backs. Forget it.
That's the way the game's played now.
So, yeah.
Hit the ball to the playmaker, watch them make plays. Next thing you know, kick the extra point, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of the way the game's played.
McKinley's got a quarterback. His name's Cam Montgomery. He's one of the kids that came up from Houston. And I just love watching this kid. I love watching him throw the ball. He looks like he throws the ball like an NFL quarterback. I mean,
really?
His dynamics, his delivery, just his skill set is just, and he's gonna play D1 in college. Everybody in the Ivy League is knocking on this kid's door very loudly.
Really?
Yes. And the MAC and some other schools as well. I know West Virginia's.
So he's going to the next level.
He's going to go to the next level. And you might see him at Brown, Harvard, Columbia. The kid can play, and he's just dynamite in the classroom. Great kid. And I just love watching him throw. I love watching him throw warm-ups. It's just like,
just easy.
Ball comes out.
Kind of has
effortless.
It.
Yeah.
When you got it, you got it.
You got it, you got it. And, if they can figure out a way to get some things going there, McKinley's just been awful with penalties. Awful. Like double-digit penalties almost every game. Sooner or later, that's going to come get you. So they got to cut those down. But you put all this into a mixing bowl, excuse me, tonight, and I think we could have an interesting game because, Green McKinley, when you think, this isn't going to be a game, it's drama. So you never know.
Yeah, I can't wait
for
it.
Know. And here's the other. This is the most ridiculous part of it. My good buddy Jeff Shreve is out tonight, and Scott Davidson's going to fill in.
Oh, is that right?
This will be the fourth game I've had Scotty. Every game he comes to do with me goes down to the last play.
He's the good luck charm?
Yeah.
Then we're screwed. No, I'm kidding. I love Scott.
Every game has come down to a Hail Mary, an onside kick. So we'll see what happens tonight.
More with Sam Berkwin. Again, that coverage of that game tonight, McKinley at Green, will start around 6:45, 7 o'clock UK kickoff here. We'll see if I have any of my of the Stansbury Show listening agents out there tonight at the Green Stadium. I hear last week at Tom Benson, as you were getting set up, ready to go for the broadcast, sure enough, Stadium crew gave you more Tom Petty than you can handle, my friend.
They gave me a mini concert.
Yeah, Robin out there was behind the controls and let me know. Sure enough, you got Tom Petty playing in the stadium. We'll see if we can get that done again this evening for Sam. Those of you not in on the gag, Sam does not like Tom Petty. I do. And what makes it worse for him every Friday is while it's playing, he comes into the studio, I refuse to let him listen to Tom sing it. I sing it for him, and he likes that. Even less. We'll get more with Sam, presented by Benders and Maslin. We'll do that next on Rock 106.9.
The Stansbury Show.
Nerd stuff probably excites you because you're a nerd.
On Rock 106.9.
Welcome back to the Stansbury Show on Rock 106.9, joined by Sam Berkwin. Fridays at 9. Sam on the call tonight. Cover starts 6:45, McKinley at Green. Kickoff 7 p.m. Sam presented by the Benders and Maslin. Benders West End Tavern, too. By the way, the West End Tavern does ribs on Saturdays. They were nice enough to make those for us early, bring them in today. Oh, my God, dude, delicious.
Wow.
Excellent. Good, right?
I crushed one of them.
Yeah, they're really good.
Boom.
I just finished the rest of that mac and cheese, too. Delicious.
Yeah,
Real
good, too.
Yeah.
I'll go back and finish that.
Dude, I think, honestly, man, out of those, there are 3 locations. Benders and Maslin, Food and Spirits Pizzeria downtown, West End Tavern. I'm like, with the West End, really? Maybe.
The leader in the pub.
Tough, but they do those hot lemon pepper wings I like at the West End. Yeah. Now I find out the ribs are great. They do those on Saturdays. Yeah, that might be my leader in the clubhouse. Sam on the call again, McKinley at Green there. We talked to Little Guardians, getting that perfect game broken up. You know what it is, right? You know what it is.
Yeah, I know where you're
So I took my happy ass all the way up to the stadium last week. Took my buddy. We went to the Giants. Got my
good
tickets.
videos up there. Good seats too, man.
Yeah, I had great seats, by the way. Those were gifted to me by the Beavers Marine crew. They unable to make it to the game. Neil handed me his tickets. Thanks again to him for those. They were excellent club seats and the like. So, you got the nice bar right there. Yeah. If you want to go inside, a little air conditioning, good, things to eat and the like.